Lots of great stuff to cover as we embark upon the summer market. Interestingly, it seems like this is also our spring market, at least in the New England region. Florida's spring started as usual when it was supposed to, but I think our market started in May. So we have lots of exciting things to update everybody on for our monthly meeting. So thank you for joining us. All right, first up, we like to take an opportunity every month just to welcome all the new agents recently joining the company. So these are just agents that have joined since last month, so since our last meeting. Welcome to John Vance, Jay, Blake, Kim Silva, Faith, and Alex Bear. Let's talk about our closings for the month of May. Very excited to report. So January, February, March, April, we were trending at about 30% of where we were based on last year's numbers, which, by the way, is what has been predicted about the real estate market. So this is industry-wide. Everybody is experiencing a 30% reduction in business. Well, I'm excited to report that we're no longer experiencing that 30% reduction. So I'll share with you in a few minutes what our numbers look like in May of 2022, just to give you a comparison. So our May closings, we had 273 closings plus 36 rentals. That was a sales volume of 128 million for May, which is super exciting. Here's a breakdown by state. Just as a reminder, this is for our Massachusetts-based agents did 188 units at 90 million. I remind you because some of those transactions are probably New Hampshire transactions. Our Florida-based agents are 61 units at 29.6 million, and our New Hampshire agents did 15 units at 6 million for our total of 273 transactions at 128 million. Let's take a look at our top agents for the month of May. First, we want to take a look at our Massachusetts top 5 teams. And let's see, I can't see my whole screen. Oh, by volume. Just going to finagle. Okay, so top 5 teams for May for Massachusetts offices: Silver Key Homes, O'Connell and Company, Rose Homes, The Results Group, and Brian Pereira and Diana Paquette in Chelmsford. So congratulations to our top 5 teams by volume. Next, we have our top individuals in Massachusetts offices by volume. Number 1, Lauren Casano out of Westford. 2, Paul Brulette, Chelmsford. 3, Elena Marchis, Tewksbury. 4, Kelly LaGrassa in Athol. And 5, a fairly new agent at LAER Realty. Excited to see Robin Foley on the list. Top 5 individuals, and she's out of our Northborough office. Next, let's take a look at our top 5 teams by unit sold for Massachusetts offices. We have Silver Key Homes, Tingsboro, O'Connell and Company, Drake, Rose Homes, Fairhaven, Brian Pereira and Diana Paquette for Chelmsford, and then the Results Group in Tewksbury. Congratulations. Next, we have our top 5 individual agents by unit sold for our Massachusetts offices. Congratulations goes out to Paul Brulette, Chelmsford, Kelly LaGrassa, Athol, Brenda Albert, and Leominster. Kimberly Kuplast, again, another fairly new agent at LAER. Congratulations. Kimberly from our East Longmeadow office, and Jane Fortier from Leominster. So congratulations, everybody. Next, let's take a look at our top 5 for New Hampshire. This list is top 5 by volume and by units. Just happens that the numbers line up. So congratulations goes out to Platinum Realty Group, Jessica Provencher, Jesse Jean, the Fulford Group, and the Marie White team. Congratulations to our New Hampshire-based agents. Then let's take a look at our top agents in Florida. So top 10 for Florida. And in Florida, we combine the teams and the individual agents all together. So top 10 in Florida by units. Congratulations goes to Peter Mercurio, Jana Zaidspinner, Jeff Browning, the Pedraza team, Gail Pagliolongo, Stacy Sofel, Tanya McClendon, Laura Rojas, Matt McLaughlin, and Lindsay Scott. That is top 10 by units. And then we have our top 10 by volume for our Florida offices. Number 1, the Pedraza team. 2, Peter Mercurio. 3, Jana Zaidspinner. 4, Stacy Sofel. 5, Laura Rojas. 6, Silvana Rebello. 7, Jeff Browning. 8, Gail Pagliolongo. 9, Tanya McClendon, and 10, the Batro team. Congratulations to all of our top agents for the month of May. We are still working on updating the total top 25 list. Sergio said those are going to go out this afternoon. So you'll get an email from the marketing team for our entire top 25 lists, which is just overall top 25. So if you're on any of our top agent lists, whether top 5, top 10, or you're on top 25 overall, we will provide, as usual, our monthly social media pieces so you can download those and share them on social media. Let's take a look at where our numbers are. So each month I've been kind of showing you where the numbers have been trending based on last year. And for the most part, every month, as I mentioned, January, February, and March especially, our numbers were off by about 30% as compared to last year. In April, for our April closings, we begin to see some improvement. The numbers are getting close to where we were in 2022. And then taking a look at May 2023, we had 273 closings at 128 million. As compared to this time last year, we had 282 closings at 139 million. So in my eyes, we're pretty much even from where we were May of last year, which I think is a huge kudos to every single LAER agent. The market it's still a very difficult market to compete in New England especially. There's a massive lack of inventory. So it's just tough out there. So I'm very excited to see such an improvement in the numbers over the last 30 to 60 days. I've been doing this for the last 3 months. I'm going to do it one more time because it's really important as the market continues to shift. It's important that all of us as an organization, we're most likely going to have our numbers are probably going to be off 20 to 30% from last year. Well, that goes for you guys too. The average real estate agent can expect to do 30% less transactions this year than they did last year. But that's only if you keep doing things the same way as you did last year. There's lots of ways to find new business to grow into new additional niches so that you can make up for that 30%. So I've done it every meeting. I'm going to just go through it super fast. Number 1, expired listings. Expired listings. Many of you are in your head are like, there's no expired listings. Everything sells in 30 seconds in my market. Absolutely not true. Every single market has expired listings. So huge opportunity to go after those expireds. For sale by owners. When I was driving home yesterday, I noticed a for sale by owner. Wonderful story that came out of our Algorwin class that we did last week in Hyannis. From Erin Matlick out of our Plymouth office. She told me that she was coming out of an appointment getting her nails done, and directly across from the nail salon, there was a for sale by owner sign. And she said, I looked at the sign and then I saw that the owner was outside doing some gardening. And of course, does she feel fear? Of course, we all feel fear. But she said, I decided that I was going to go over and start a conversation with them. And she did. She said, I ended up being there for 90 minutes having a conversation with these owners. And she's like, I have a feeling I might end up getting the listing. So there's for sale by owners out there. By the way, is it in the best interest of a person, a seller, not to expose their listing to millions of people through the multiple listing service? Absolutely not. They're going to get most likely a higher price if they put it into an MLS and work with a reputable real estate agent who's going to show them how to price well and market the property to get multiple offers. Small bank REO. I've shared this a few times. I bought a property last year directly from a bank. So it was a pre-foreclosure property. Now, what about the big banks? Bank of America, like all these big banks, Wells Fargo. Oftentimes agents, when they want to go after like the defaulting mortgage business, they think really big, like let's go after these big, huge companies. Those are the harder ones to get into because they have long-term relationships with real estate agents. But in every single market we're in, there's little community credit unions and banks that have their own little default departments. So reach out as part of your regular going out and visiting your past clients and sphere of influence. Every time you do that, put a small bank on your list of people to visit. 4, probate. We have estate planning attorneys as well. If you go to Fiverr, which is a site for hiring assistants to help you with your business, you can buy probate lists for specific counties. It'll give you the name of the representative who's handling the estate. It's just a great opportunity. These houses are going to get listed with someone, so why not you? 1031 exchanges. We have done a couple times now a fantastic class on 1031 exchanges. I love a 1031 exchange. It's just a like-kind exchange where a consumer who has investment property can sell one property and buy another, exchange properties with a tax mechanism that allows them to avoid a capital gain. If you're not familiar with the 1031 exchanges, you can go to our YouTube station at youtube.com/LAER, LAER training. And we have a class on the 1031 exchange. Highly recommend you watch it because 1031 exchanges is one of those real estate transactions that you can create a customer who doesn't realize they're a customer. So in a marketplace, for example, you can say, hey, you have a asset that you've owned for 7 or 8 years. Did you know if you sold that asset here and bought an asset over here, you're going to get a much higher return on your investment? And by the way, I can show you how to do that without incurring a capital gain. So we have a small group of agents within our company that they go out and find transactions. And again, it's a customer who doesn't realize they're a customer. Next, lead services. There are a million different lead services out there. If you go to our LAER program and services guide, you can go to the very back of the book and sign up for several different lead programs. There's subscription-based lead platforms, and which is you pay monthly and you'll get leads, or there's referral fee-based lead platforms. I think every agent who needs business, if you need business, should sign up for every single company. By the way, some of them have waiting lists, but the good news is we're already seeing a massive attrition of real estate agents from the business. So that means that these waiting lists for many of these lead companies is going to be opening up. So go out and sign up for the different lead services that are listed, at least the referral fee-based ones that are listed in the LAER program and services guide. If you're not an OpCity agent, you should email in to our Happy Agent team and sign up for OpCity. if you have not already done so, you should be setting yourself up as an agent with Google Local Services. And through Google Local Services, Google has a platform where they will refer you leads, and you pay per phone call that you get. So I've seen many agents, I know 3 or 4 stories just from agents at our company that have received listings from a Google Local Services ad. And again, it's pay for call received. So you pay nothing unless somebody calls you. And then 5, just Google the word real estate leads. There's tons of companies out there. Sign up for different programs so that you have business coming in throughout the year. Orphaned clients. Think about this. As you're out there networking with other real estate agents, there are going to be many orphaned clients over the next 6 months to 3 years as the market shifts. That means real estate agents are getting out of the business. Who do you know that has exited the business? And what do you think about calling that person and creating a referral partnership with that agent, saying, hey, I know that you retired out of the business or decided to go, that you no longer wanted to focus on real estate. I want to create a partnership so you can still earn some income with the people who already know, like, and trust you for referring them over to me. So think about how you can tap into the orphaned client business. Partnerships. There are so many companies that are marketing to the same people as us: moving companies, clean out companies, Title V companies, assisted living companies, divorce and estate attorneys, solar companies, commercial real estate firms, charities. Who are the people in your marketplace, the people, the businesses, the organizations that are going after the same client that you want? And how can you go and create a partnership with them so that they're referring you leads, and likewise you're referring them leads as well? Events. There's such great opportunity out there to be hosting events. VA seminars, first-time buyer seminars, seller seminars, credit cleanup seminars, senior downsizing seminars. Who doesn't love a seminar, especially in this world where we can actually be out and around people again? Like, people are thirsty to come out and learn something. So start working on those events. Make a goal for yourself. Say, hey, I'm doing 1 event a month. And don't get discouraged if the first event you do has 2 people. I would call that a raving success if 2 people come who are buyers or sellers and they're interested in what you have to say. And then over time, as you get better at your events, more people are going to attend. By the way, if you missed last month's sales meeting, we dedicated about 20 minutes of that sales meeting into how to create these fantastic events for your business. And you can download or go watch last month's meeting at youtube.com/LAER training. So that was the May sales meeting. We did 20 minutes just on organizing a fantastic event. And then also great opportunity, open houses. So think about all the ways you can really go above and beyond for open houses. You don't have to stick to Saturday and Sunday. Do commuter open houses. Better yet, even if you have no listings, maybe somebody in your office just got this awesome new listing, and that agent says, I'm doing all the open houses Saturday and Sunday because I know it's going to be packed. Why not ask that agent, say, hey, do you mind if I do a commuter open house just to see if I could generate your peers? You have lots of great peers within your offices. So ask them how you can assist and maybe take on an open house on a listing that they have. If you are an agent that has no listings, create a marketing piece and a marketing video about how you can help your peers by doing their open houses. Especially, by the way, we're coming into the summer months. So in the summer months, agents are taking vacations or weekends off. That's an opportunity if you're an agent that has no listings right now to say, hey, Go market to the agents within our brokerage that have inventory and say, let me take on that open house. You go to the beach this weekend. I want the open house, or I'll do your commuter open houses. And then don't forget, when you're doing the open houses, don't miss the opportunity of all the people in the neighborhood. Go door knock the people in the neighborhood, introduce yourself. Statistically, when one person sells a house, it's super interesting. In the neighborhood where I grew up, in Westford, Massachusetts, for years and years and years, nobody sold a house in the neighborhood. And I still go there every day to pick up my daughter at my mom's house. And I have to tell you, there's probably like 40 houses in this neighborhood. And in the last 6 months, I saw one house come on the market. I was like, holy cow, a house never comes on the market in this neighborhood. And it sold quickly. And then I was driving by a week later, another for sale sign popped up. Like literally in 3 months, 4 houses came on the market in that neighborhood. Statistically, when one person sells, somebody else is going to sell in that neighborhood. So when you're doing open houses, don't forget to market to the people around that neighborhood. Let's talk about some company updates, just some quick stuff. First, we have gone live with Boost by HomeSpotter. What that means, many of you know that we had a contract for 2 years with AdWorks that did pay-per-click advertising. That contract ended and we are now with Boost by HomeSpotter. This means that every time you list a property, an ad is going to go live on Facebook and several other sites. Some of you have already seen it. I've seen the ads myself. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it. And if you have a listing, you get an email every time your listing is going live. This is created to get you leads. We did do an intro call with the team from Boost by HomeSpotter where they talk about like dynamics on how to use the system, how to make the most of it, how do you get more leads from it. But the gist of it is we're paying for, on your behalf, 7 days of advertising on every new listing you get. All the leads on it go directly to you. However, that being said, so you'll get it, even if you do nothing, you'll get an email saying your listing has gone live. You will get leads from it. Even beyond that, I highly recommend, if you were not on the call that was done about 3 weeks ago with the Boost by HomeSpotter team, go to youtube.com/LAER training, click on videos, and you're going to see we just recently, in the last 7 days, uploaded a recording of that class we did with the Boost by HomeSpotter team. That's how you're going to maximize and get the most out of it. Strongly encourage you, like, don't let it just be like a thing that happens and you really don't lean into it. Leverage the heck out of it. Find out everything you can do to get the most leads from it and to leverage it when you are building or going on listing appointments. Also very excited for our East Longmeadow team. They're going to be moving tomorrow. So our East Longmeadow team, they've been with us for a very long time and they needed a new office. We have no signs on the new building yet, but this is the new building. We're moving right down the street from our current location, but brand spanking new inside. The agents are super excited. And for if you're in New England, we do plan on having an open house event sometime over the summer. Super excited for our East Longmeadow team. As well, last week we celebrated our new Wellesley office. So Wellesley, we've been in Wellesley for several years, but our lease expired in our old location and we wanted to be on the main Central Street, which is the best place to be in the town of Wellesley. If you're a marathon runner, the marathon runners run right past our new location. So we're going to do an event for Boston Marathon next year, but super excited for our Wellesley team and their new office. And with that, I want to introduce our favorite Chief Sustainability Officer, Craig Foley, to tell us about updates in the sustainability world.
Yeah, thank you, Stacy, and thanks for posting Realtor Association Central Massachusetts. I'll put the link in there right now. That's next week, 9 to 4:30 in Auburn, Massachusetts. I have been looking, Stacy, at the green designated agent roster in Massachusetts. So you can go on. In fact, if I'm going to boot you and share my screen. You can go on and search for agents on Green Dot Realtor. And so I went through all of the 211 green designated agents that are current active green designated agents in the state of Massachusetts. And Stacey, I've always boasted about the fact that LAER has the most green designated agents in the state. That has been true, but it won't be true once the next iteration of green designated agents that I train for Greater Boston Association of Realtors become formally green designated in the next 2 weeks. Because our chief competitor for green designated agents has been Coldwell Banker. They have 28 agents currently. KW has 22, and we are now tied with 28 with Coldwell Banker. But for G-Bar, Bill Cataldo, one of our great agents at LAER, was present and accounted for, and he loved the class, but there were 3 Coldwell Banker agents in the class. So we're about to be second, Stacy. I'm hoping we can step to the plate here and make this happen. And then when you do become a green designated agent, I just want to highlight this. You can search by zip code, by state, however you want to do it. You can see I've got Karen's piece up that when you were to search Franklin, Massachusetts, you would find her there. She's got a picture there. She's filled out a lot of her information. Many of our agents and our competitors, like this person from KW, has not even bothered to put a picture in there. So if you were actually searching for an agent in Franklin, a green designated agent in Franklin, and you had 3 agents up there, one with a picture, which one would you contact first, right? I mean, it's obvious. Please get your pictures up there. If you're a green designated agent, put it on the site. You know how to access Green Dot Realtor, and fill in your full information, and even a bio on there would be great. I'm going to just share one more thing, Stacy, and then I'll be done. I just want to highlight this again. So this is our check request form, as you all know. And last year, Sergio updated the check request form so that we could have, we added all of the green high performance features and features from the Beaches MLS, which their homes feature many resilient building features on the property. I just thought that if we built it and put it in the check request form, Stacy, that the realtors would come and fill it out. I found that was not the case this year. So we sold something like 3,500 homes last year. I would anticipate that a third of those have some kind of high performance feature, even if it's a set of LED light bulbs in there. That is a high performance feature. And 70 were recorded with green high performance features. So that's a bummer. That's my fault. I put that all on me that I haven't highlighted this enough. Part of the issue, I think, is because when you go to this and at the top where it says, does your home have high performance features? It auto pops as no. You don't see the drop down list until you move it to yes. But please, 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 I mean, new construction in Massachusetts, built to code. Those homes have high performance features. They have HERS scores. They have a number of features. Let's make sure, and we definitely sold more than 70 new construction homes last year for LAER, right? So let's make sure that we're really moving forward with this and filling in any high performance feature that you may have when you get your check request. Now, the good news is we're the only company that I know that are tracking high performance home sales. So next year, after our first year of trying this out, and frankly, sucking at it, Stacy, right? We will be a lot better. We'll have a huge growth percentage in high performance home sales if we pay attention to this. So that's my spiel, and I'm sticking to it, Stacy.
Okay, so two things. First of all, I also want to say, just you mentioned that the agents end up on the green designation page if they become green designated. As well, LAER Realty has a sustainable page on our company website, and specifically we highlight the agents that do have green designation, so that we do our best to make sure that if a consumer is interested in sustainability or like solar panels, that they end up with the right real estate agent for that transaction. Secondly, I mentioned to you, I'm going to be at that event. I've said for 2 or 3 years now, I'm going to get green designated, and it's really hard to find the 2 days to do it. But next week I cleared off my schedule. So I will be at the one in Auburn. For anybody else that attends, I look forward to seeing you guys.
Well, now I'm wicked psyched. I mean, oh my God, that's just awesome. I can't wait to have you on the call, Stacey.
By the way, Marie Shelzy asked, can you explain what does it take to keep the designation? Like, is there a yearly fee? How does that work?
Yeah, so in your first year, if you go to the training next weekend, right? Your annual fee for the green designation is paid for. Then the second year it's amortized. So you're going to be taking it June. So you'd be paying half of the $98.50 that it requires annually. And then year 3, you'd be paying that $98.50. If you re-register early, like in November, when the Green Resource Council sends that out, it's $92. They take something like 5% off or something.
By the way, I did notice, I think it's super discounted to go to the one in the Rassam one. Do you remember what the price is? I know it wasn't expensive.
Yeah, the one for G-Bar was sponsored by Pearl Certification. This one is not. So this one's $275 for Central Massachusetts Realtors.
Okay, awesome. All right, thank you, Craig.
Yep.
Next up, I am going to do a quick presentation. It's very interesting because I have a very unique opportunity that I get to talk to real estate agents every single day. Even when like I'm going out and doing the Algorwing classes. So far, I've done 9 Algorwing classes across Massachusetts and Florida. And we have additional ones coming up, including on the 28th of June. We're coming to New Bedford. So if you're in the Fairhaven office or in that New Bedford area, strongly recommend that you come to our 3-hour program on Algorwing. So between attending all of these Algorwings and teaching these classes and getting this awesome opportunity to communicate with you guys through the Happy Agent system regularly, I've noticed something about the real estate market in general. And what I have noticed, it is wreaking havoc. So the market and what is going on in the market, from like multiple offers to agents unsure if their offers are accepted, to working with buyers who put multiple offers on multiple properties and still can't get offers accepted. The big thing I've noticed in the last 60 to 90 days is the market is wreaking havoc on mindset of our agents. It is so important that we control our own mindset during uncertain times. So I put together a little 10-minute presentation for you guys on uncertainty, because really that's what it's coming down to, is that it's harder. It can be harder to thrive in uncertainty than what many of us have experienced over the last couple of years. Since the pandemic, the market was pretty certain, like there was always plenty of business and we could count on a paycheck. It's becoming much more difficult. So today's presentation, and it's a short one, is really just about figuring out how to thrive in uncertainty, because I have seen firsthand, just speaking to real estate agents, I do see agents thriving. There are lots of agents that this is going to be their best year ever. There are many, many agents in our own company. This is going to be their best year ever. As well, I also see real estate agents nosediving, making rash decisions, not controlling their mind about what's happening in the market. So today we're going to talk about uncertainty. Uncertainty is what goes on in your head, your heart, and your gut as you strive to create an extraordinary life and business. We all have it. What's really important is to understand when uncertainty is everywhere. The market, our paychecks, we don't know what rates are going to be. We don't know if that person's going to list their house. You have to really pay extra close attention to who is making the decisions in your business and your life. And what I mean by that is that, of course, we're making our own decisions, but oftentimes we have these gremlins in the back of our heads that are causing rash decisions to be made. Your personal genius, everything good that has happened in your life, if you think about it, is often born out of uncertainty. So like all the good things in life often are born from uncertainty. So it is necessary to have uncertainty and to figure out how we manage it in our thoughts and in our daily lives. And by the way, by becoming better at managing uncertainty in our own lives, we become more of an asset to the people around us, to helping our peers in real estate manage uncertainty, to helping our clients, our buyers and sellers manage uncertainty, to helping our children and loved ones understand how to manage uncertainty in life. In the beginning and during changes, like in the market, your success comes down to your ability to tolerate ambiguity. And that's where I'm seeing certain agents really thrive in the marketplace. The people that are thriving in this uncertain market are the ones that have figured out a way to tolerate ambiguity. That doesn't mean that they love it. Most people don't love uncertainty. It's fear. But agents that are thriving in their businesses right now, the agents that are going to have a better year this year than last year, are typically the ones that have figured out a way to master ambiguity in their own lives. Living in ambiguity, it causes anxiety, fear, suffering, and pain. And people don't like pain. So rather than lean into it, they do everything possible to kind of snuff it out. So what are some of the pain points that I hear from real estate agents? Like, where is my next deal coming from? How do I increase lead flow? Should I call that expired or for sale by owner? That's why I shared that story about Erin Matlick. Like Erin Matlick has not been in the business for many years. So I was so proud to hear her say, you know what, I came out of my nail salon and I saw this for sale by owner, and she kind of looked at it as a challenge. Like, could she get up the strength to just go across the street and start a conversation with a stranger? And she did. So she fought through anxiety, fear, ambiguity, and even if that transaction doesn't end up panning out, who knows, it may end up turning into a listing. Every time she does that, she's building her ability to like get past the hard stuff, getting past the fear in her own life. The biggest decisions you will make in your life and in your business are going to require you to take action in the face of risk and ambiguity. we have in our brains, like we're hardwired with fear. So it's part of like our reptilian brain, in that when we feel fear for something like a marketplace, or like going and knocking on the door of a for sale by owner, we are hardwired to have a psychological and physiological reaction to that. So like all these chemicals go through us and we feel the anxiety and this, we're scared, and it is that fight or flight response. So one of the important factors to realize as you're facing this, the challenges of the market, is to realize everybody is. It's not just you, it's everybody. Uncertainty leads to fear. And oftentimes what happens when we start to feel fear, we start to judge. Oftentimes we judge ourselves, and we're actually our own worst critics usually. So like, what are people thinking? Am I doing good enough? We start to question our own ability. This is why if you look in the marketplace in general, people are making super rash decisions, even moving brokerages for really no good reason. At the end of the day, your success is your fault. And that's going to be same wherever you go, whatever brokerage you go. But it is a byproduct. The people moving to multiple brokerages over like a 6-month period, 3 different brokerages, oftentimes that is just uncertainty and fear. And then they start to second guess their own decisions as to why they ended up at a certain brokerage, or whether they're not in the best place. You will always be in the best place to do business for you. Your success is only tied to you. So there's 2 sides of fear. And basically what the 2 sides of fear are is, on the one side, fear is like a fog that comes over us and we really can't see clearly. So we start like judging ourselves, making rash decisions. But there's another side of fear as well. And this is why if you look in the marketplace, you can see which side of fear somebody is focusing on by the amount of business they're doing. So are you focusing on the fog and the unclarity and the nerves and the scarcity? Or the other side of fear is fuel. Sometimes people are fueled by fear. It gives them absolute clarity about what their goals are and how they're going to get there. So think about how you in your business, if you're on the other side of fear, where you feel that cloud over you, that it's just hard to operate each day, how do you turn that cloud into fuel to fuel your business? And we're going to talk about how to do that. So we're going to just look at like 5 tools to make your journey more enjoyable, so that you could turn the fear into fuel, so that you can make great decisions, even during very uncertain times. So the number one way to do that is through rituals. So when you are, and by the way, it's not just the market. Market is one of the things that's kind of uncertain, and it's always going to be like that for our real estate business. There's always going to be, you're in sales. First of all, you're a commissioned employee, or not an employee, you're a commissioned sales agent. So just being in a commissioned position alone, there's always going to be a high level of uncertainty. But beyond work, we live in uncertainty anyways, in everything that we do. Every decision we make, there's a certain level of uncertainty. So there's certain things you can do to be more comfortable inside of uncertainty. The first one is creating anchors. One of the ways to create an anchor is to create rituals. Rituals take your focus off of uncertainty. Rituals they have an immense power to counter uncertainty, anxiety, and fear. So start simple with daily rituals, reading, meditation, walking or running, working out, calling on people, working on your database. The people that thrive in uncertainty have standardized pieces of their day. So in other words, they escape for a little while each day from the uncertainty because they're now focused on the ritual at hand, that standardization of their time. Why do uncertainty anchors work? The simple physical act of engaging in a ritual and routine creates certainty. The certainty is that there's a ritual tomorrow. I'm going to do this today, and I'm going to do it tomorrow, and I'm going to do it the next day. So the easiest way, the number one way to counter the uncertainty of everything else around you is to just create a little certainty, a ritual. By the way, this is why many agents are thriving with the Algorand program. So as I mentioned, we've been traveling across Massachusetts and Florida, teaching the Algorand class and the Algorand system. It is a system of rituals. It is a checklist system of daily, weekly, yearly checklists, as well as a new buyer checklist, a new seller checklist, a new listing checklist, and client appreciation event checklist. This system is a ritual. So I can attest to the fact that agents that are just concentrating on the ritual are not focused on the uncertainty of what's happening in a marketplace or what's happening in the craziness of their personal life or what is happening anywhere except on that ritual. Number two, the number two tool is to build your hive. What's interesting about a beehive is all the bees that live in the hive are focused on the same thing. Their purpose is the survival of the colony. Now, in your own life, you have a hive. You have a hive of people. The question you have to ask yourself, are they serving you? Are they serving your purpose? Are they feeding into your success? Or are they feeding into your fear? It's really important when you are facing uncertainty, which we all do, to surround yourself with people who have a common openness to learn, to make mistakes, and to offer high degrees of feedback. So think about the hive of people that you surround yourself with. Be super leery of people that take advantage of the fear that you are experiencing. Run. When you see somebody taking advantage of the fear that you are experiencing, you should run. One of the examples I use in the Algorand class is when you think about the people in your hive, think about like, who are the people that are the Tiggers and who are the people that are the Eeyores? In your own life, you have Tiggers, the people that are happy and excited and bring good and positive energy. And then also there's people that could be in your hive that do bring you down. They see the downside to everything. Like, why did you get into real estate? Do not surround yourself with people that think the market is bad or that there's not huge opportunity in whatever that you're working on. So you got to kind of look around you, who are the Tiggers and who are the Eeyores? And by the way, reflect inwards as well. Are you a Tigger or are you an Eeyore? And what's very interesting is this is one of the things we talk about in the Algorand class for raising your vibration, your energy, because if you are an Eeyore yourself, it's going to be super difficult to build a thriving hive. It's going to be, if you are a person that tends to always be negative, you're going to attract more people that tend to always be negative. Always remember as you face uncertainty in the marketplace, that your bravery does scare people, some people. You want to surround yourself with the people who aren't scared of your bravery. 3, train your brain. Recognize the warning signs of fear. So what are the things that in your life would tell the world like, hey, I know right now I'm in a place of fear. So for some of us, like when we break a routine, we have negative self-talk, social media stalking. Some people, when they feel fear, they start looking at everybody else's life and to make themselves feel even worse. You got to recognize some people can't eat, they can't concentrate. You have to learn how to focus your awareness so you can recognize when fear is dictating your life. How can you do that? Well, number 1, get into a habit of proving yourself wrong. What do you believe is not possible for you? Whatever just popped into your head that you said, whatever just came into your brain when I said, what do you think is not possible for you? I challenge you to go figure out if that's true. It's probably not. We all have these crazy beliefs that have been kind of drilled into us since we were 6 years old. Go prove that those beliefs are malarkey. Go learn a new language, take up a new instrument, go skydiving, take a class, go do something and prove yourself wrong. Because every time you prove yourself wrong, you're proving to yourself that you can be and do and have anything. Super important is notice the conversations you're having with you. The one person you talk to all day, every day in your own head is you. So it's important to start noticing the conversations. Learn how to create a new energy vortex. So when you're in a really bad place, and in order to raise your vibration, let's just say that your belief is that things never go right for me. Things just never go right for me. Well, now like flip that over and say, okay, what if I did assume that things always go right for me? And then create this spiral. Write down 10 or 20 thoughts you would have if you were to believe that things always go right for you. So then you start writing those down, and what you're going to see is that you do kind of believe that some of those things that you wrote down are true, that things do go right for you sometimes. Visualize. We have hosted over the last 30 days about 30 vision boarding classes, and that is just to help you guys visualize what your future looks like, to keep your mind where it needs to be and not in the uncertainty. Meditate. Learn to make space for new thoughts to come in. By the way, we think all day long, so that means that there is no room or space for new stuff to come in. Your success is a byproduct of intention plus attention. So that's why this whole program for the last 15 minutes is about like refocusing your attention where it needs to be. And by the way, gratitude is the best place to start with refocusing attention. Gratitude is a great place to live. Number 4, clarity is kindness. You want to get out of the uncertainty? Well, if your life all around you looks like uncertainty, then you're going to confront uncertainty wherever you go. So make your bed in the morning, clean off your desk, make your car clean, organize your closets. The more you declutter everything around you, the more clear things become in your own head. Unclutteredness creates harmony in your thoughts, your actions, and your intentions. Fear, uncertainty thrives in confusion. And number 5, the last one, indemnify risk. Risk is part of all the important things you will do in your life. But there are ways you can insure that risk so that it's not as big of a risk. And we already talked about this right at the beginning of the program. Dig into new business. So go get your sustainability, your green designation. Go try new types of business, maybe foreclosure or new lead programs. By the way, I have an awesome story. I don't know if Dan O'Connell's on the call today, but I'll give it to you real quick before we wrap up the program. Dan O'Connell out of our Drake office went to an auction. He went to a property auction because he was interested in buying the property. And he goes to the auction, there's a million people there. As often happens, the bank ends up buying or taking the property back because it didn't hit the minimum bid. So he could have just left the auction and it was over. Instead, Dan went and knocked on the door of the property because the owners were still living in the property that was being auctioned. And he knocked on the door and he said he ended up being there for an hour, asking her, like, how much do you owe on the property? And he said, if you sold this property through a real estate agent and didn't let it go to foreclosure, you stand to walk away with a lot of money. And that seller had no idea. Like, she thought her only option was foreclosure and getting nothing, by the way. And so Dan ended up listing the property. Now, in the old days, that might not have worked, because in the old days, it's like it could take 60, 90, 120 days. In the new world we live in, you put a house on the market, it's gone in an hour and it's closing in 2 to 3 weeks, which is exactly what happened on this transaction. So Dan got a transaction. This buyer or this seller walked away with money so that they can go repair their other credit. And it wasn't just left to foreclosure. So there's all kinds of awesome opportunities out there. So what I leave you guys with today is, will uncertainty dull your brilliance? Because really it's ultimately your choice. If you want a fantastic book to kind of help get you into the mindset of thriving in uncertainty, there's a wonderful book, which a lot of today's program was based on, called Uncertainty by Jonathan Fields. It helps you turn fear and doubt into fuel for your brilliance. And with that, we're at the end of the program. I want to wish everybody a great start to their summer, and we will be back on the second Wednesday of the month in July. So thanks, everyone.